The BMW X7 is not just another SUV, it's the ultimate expression of BMW saying, we can do big, bold, and luxurious, but still keep it fun to drive. And that's exactly why you should buy it. Because in a world of oversized SUVs, the X7 doesn't just blend in, it dominates. Now let's start with the look, because presence is everything. The X7 is BMW's largest vehicle, and it wears that badge of honor proudly. This SUV doesn't try to hide its size, it embraces it. The design is bold, unapologetic, and immediately recognizable. Up front, you'll notice the split headlights, which may not have been everyone's favorite design choice at first, but give it a few minutes, or better yet, see it in person, and suddenly everything else looks dated. The styling has a futuristic edge while still keeping that BMW DNA intact. And of course, we have to talk about the rather large kidney grills. When they first debuted, they were controversial, memes were made, opinions flew around, but as with most BMW design shifts, it's grown on us. Now it feels right at home, and honestly, it's one of the best looking front ends of any big SUV. It doesn't just make the X7 look imposing, it gives it character. And if you opt for the M Sport package, the look gets dialed up even further, with sharper bumpers, blacked out trim, and a more aggressive stance. It takes the X7 from commanding to downright intimidating, like it's ready to muscle its way to the front of the line. The design carries through to the rear, where things get just as polished. Slim LED taillights stretch across the back with a clean horizontal layout, emphasizing width and stability. Chrome accents highlight the lines without being overdone, and the sculpted bumper gives it just the right mix of elegance and muscle. From every angle, front, side, or rear, the X7 looks planted, confident, and unmistakably premium. It's an SUV that doesn't just take up space, it owns it. And here's the kicker, that presence translates directly to the road. The sheer stance of the X7 commands respect. Drive one and you'll notice people move over without hesitation. It projects authority in a way that's almost comical. Park it next to smaller SUVs and suddenly they look like toys. This isn't just transportation, it's a statement piece on wheels. But of course, what's the point of a flashy exterior if the inside doesn't back it up? Luckily, the X7 delivers in spades. Step inside and suddenly you're not in an SUV, you're in a rolling VIP lounge. BMW borrowed heavily from its flagship 7 Series sedan, and it shows. The cabin greets you with a massive curved display powered by iDrive 8.5, crystal-like controls that sparkle in the light, and quilted leather seats that don't just look good, they pamper you. Heated, cooled, massaging, pick your setting, and your commute feels like a spa appointment. And with second-row captain's chairs available, even your kids get to ride like junior executives on their way to practice. Throw in ambient lighting that wraps the cabin in customizable colors, and every night drive feels more like a rooftop cocktail party than a trip to the grocery store. And speaking of interiors, let's take a quick moment to shout out today's sponsor, 3D Mats USA. Because let's be honest, if you're investing in a luxury SUV like the BMW X7, you don't want to cheap out on the floor liners. Now it all starts with the unboxing. You open the package and right away you can tell these aren't your average flimsy mats. They've got weight to them, structure, and a premium finish that matches the high standards of the X7 itself. And unlike some cheap liners, there's no harsh chemical or plastic smell, just a clean, fresh product that's ready to go straight into your SUV. Installation couldn't be easier. First step, remove the factory floor mats. Then give the carpets a quick vacuum to clear out any dirt or debris. After that, just drop the 3D mats in. No tools required. And here's where things get clever. Instead of sliding around like traditional liners, these use a unique hook and loop system that grips the carpet underneath. Once they're in place, they stay locked down, even if your kids, your dog, or your passengers are climbing in and out 100 times a week. The fit is where 3D mats really shine. They laser measure every contour of the cabin. So the liners hug every curve of the floor with a factory-level precision. No awkward gaps, no curling edges, just a clean, tailored look that feels like it came straight from BMW's design studio. The edges trace the carpet perfectly, and the channels land exactly where they should, giving you coverage and protection in all the right spots. Performance is another huge win. The liners have a textured surface that keeps shoes from slipping. even when they're wet from rain or snow. And because of the raised edges and deep basin, they capture dirt, mud, water, snow, spills, basically anything life throws at your interior. Families with kids, dogs, sports gear, or even just messy coffee drinkers will love how much protection these mats provide. Durability is where they really separate themselves. The liners shrug off daily abuse and keep their shape. Even with constant friction from shoes and heavy use day after day, they still look brand new. Cleanup is as easy as it gets. Pop them out, hit them with the garden hose, and the dirt sheets right off. And let's not forget about the cargo liner, because this one is especially clever. There's really nothing else like it on the market. It doesn't just protect the cargo floor, it also has a seamless transition that extends up and covers the third row seat backs. Installation is simple. Give the seat backs a quick vacuum, pull the retention strap over the headrest, then press the liner into place on the back of the third row seats and the cargo floor. It stays in place nicely and even allows either side of the seats to be folded down individually, or both at the same time without losing protection. The best part? It stays attached when you raise or lower the seats. So when the third row is folded flat or in use, those seat backs remain protected. This makes a huge difference in real-world use. If you're hauling sports gear, strollers, luggage, or even the family dog, you don't have to worry about scuffing or scratching the rear seats every time you load up. Muddy cleats? No problem. A dripping cooler after a weekend trip? Handled. Even dog paws or claws won't leave a mark. It's designed to take all that abuse, so the interior underneath stays looking brand new. And just like the floor liners, the cargo liner fits with precision and looks like it belongs there. Factory-level quality, but with smarter protection. It's one of those upgrades that you don't realize you need it until you've lived with it, and then you can't imagine going without it. 3D Mats also makes premium floor and cargo liners for a wide range of popular SUVs, not just BMWs. You can see the full lineup of products at 3dmatsusa.com. Now, speaking of space and practicality, let's get back to the BMW X7 itself. You might be thinking, okay, but it's a 3-row SUV, how's the actual space? Here's the twist. This third row isn't the dreaded penalty box, but it's not a lounge either. An adult can sit back there if needed, though it's a bit snug for long hauls. For kids, though, it's a different story. They'll ride comfortably in the back, even on longer trips, which makes the X7 a genuine family-friendly option. And when you're not hauling a full crew, fold the third row down and watch the cargo space transform. Suddenly, the X7 goes from family hauler to Costco warrior to college move-in day hero. It's luxury that's actually practical, which isn't something you can say about every big SUV out there. But this is still a BMW, and that means performance isn't optional. It's part of the DNA. The base turbocharged inline-six delivers 375 horsepower. Smooth, refined, and quick. Step up to the twin-turbo V8 and you're working with 523 horsepower. Plenty for those who think fast enough doesn't apply to them. And then, of course, there's the Alpina XB7, BMW asking, how much power can we give this thing before it terrifies the neighbors? The answer? 631 horsepower. That's supercar performance in a 3-row SUV. 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. And remember, this isn't a lightweight coupe, it's a 5,500-pound luxury machine. The fact that it moves like that is ridiculous, in the best way possible. And it's not just about speed. BMW's engineers made sure the X7 doesn't drive like a lumbering tank. Adaptive suspension makes it smooth when you want comfort and sharp when you want control. All-wheel drive is standard, and available rear-wheel steering shrinks its turning circle, so parking lots aren't a nightmare. It's one of the very few full-size SUVs where the phrase "fun to drive" actually makes sense. Of course, fun also means tech, and the X7 delivers. The iDrive 8.5 system stretches across the dash in a sweeping curved display that feels more like a home theater than a dashboard. The interface is fast, customizable, and, dare I say it, finally intuitive. Gesture controls let you wave your hand to adjust the volume, which feels a little silly at first but quickly becomes addictive. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard because plugging in is so 2019. Wireless charging keeps your phone alive on road trips, and for the audiophiles, the optional Bowers & Wilkins Diamond surround system turns the cabin into a rolling concert hall. Even your guilty pleasure playlist will sound Grammy-worthy. Safety tech is fully loaded too. Adaptive cruise, lane keeping, automatic lane change, highway assist, it practically drives itself on long road trips. Not that you'd want to give up the wheel, but it's nice to know the X7 has your back. Now, BMW isn't alone in this space. The Mercedes GLS, the Cadillac Escalade, the Range Rover, these are the big names it has to compete with. So how does the X7 stack up? Well, the Escalade is the extrovert, the rolling billboard that screams for attention. The Range Rover is the reserved one, dripping with tradition and old money charm. And the GLS is the diplomat, calm, polished, all about comfort. But the X7 is the one that balances everything. Luxurious? Absolutely. Powerful? Without question. But it also insists on being fun to drive. It's the rare SUV that doesn't make you feel like you're compromised. If the Escalade is a private jet and the Range Rover is a country estate, the BMW X7 is a modern penthouse with a garage full of sports cars. Which brings us back to the big question: why should you buy the BMW X7? Because it's one of the only SUVs that truly does it all. It hauls 7 people in comfort, offers real cargo space, spoils every passenger, packs in cutting-edge tech, outruns most sports cars, and still gives you that BMW grin when you're behind the wheel. It's practical and extravagant, subtle yet bold, luxurious but still engaging to drive. In short, it's the best of BMW supersized. And yes, all of this comes at a price. The X7 starts in the mid-$80,000 range and can climb past $150,000 for the fully loaded Alpina XB7. But for buyers in this category, it delivers a combination of luxury, performance, and presence that few rivals can match. So what's left to decide? Just how much power you want. Do you want to go with the sensible but strong inline-six, the beastly V8, or the Alpina XB7 with its 631 horses of over-the-top glory? Whichever you choose, the BMW X7 proves that sometimes bigger really is better, especially when it's wearing a BMW badge. And at the end of the day, if you want an SUV that doesn't just carry people but carries presence, this is the one. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown of the BMW X7, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more luxury SUV deep dives and buyer smart videos coming your way. You won't want to miss them.